Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 12, Week 2. You might notice that it's been a while. That's because there wasn't actually a week on this week, and we decided to hold off recording, for the most part, until that was all wrapped up.
Yeah, just take a bit of a breather. It happens.
Alright, with us here today is Randy, as you just heard him. Say hello, Randy.
Hello.
And also, we have Ocelot here.
Yeah, it's me. Legally distinct Ocelot.
Yeah. No revolvers, just Ocelot. Today we got My Beautiful Dark Willow Twisted Fantasy versus MF Doomed. And we're not seeing a Wraith King here on MF Doomed.
Nope.
Probably some sort of respect ban going on here, if I had to guess.
That, or they have a team of heroes in the lineup they're wanting to pick that just blows people up, and Wraith King throws a wrench into that plan.
Yeah, never a good thing to have happen to you in a team fight if you're thinking of going like a long-term sort of situation. You definitely don't want to see Wraith King there, because, you know, when he's reincarnating, you're just sitting there moving like a mile per year.
Silencer ban.
Silencer's never really that bad of a ban to have if you're not gonna pick him. Like, even if,
could in particular mean channel ultis.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like...
Snapfire, first pick.
It's very rare Silencer is going to determine a game. There's a lot of heroes he doesn't necessarily directly counter, but, you know, you never want to have that global Silencer. Snapfire Jakiro. Very early Windrunner on MF Doomed, or Wind Ranger if you so prefer.
And there's Mars again.
That's the classic combo right there. Mars Snapfire. Bread and butter.
Very common pick in this league, Mars, it seems like.
10 seconds remaining.
And it certainly explains the Wraith King ban. You know, one of the worst things that can happen for Mars is Wraith King dies in the middle of the arena, which really puts a big damper in your ability to kill the other people in it, and just gives him a chance to beat you up with the arena down when he comes back.
Yep.
No Monkey King, says MF Doomed, which is another sort of, yep, get all your voice clips out now. Another sort of classic combination with Mars here, so no surprise to see him gone. TA banned by Willow Twisted Fantasy, on the other hand. What does a TA ban mean to you?
It means to me that they're looking to prevent that situation where a lot of enemies get, like... Well, theoretically speaking, Mars and Snapfire, like with their combo, they want people in their own arena too on their team, and TA can just sit from like a sideline of it and just throw attacks in that just hit everybody, you know? Can hit somebody from outside and hit them with Psy Blades inside the arena for pure damage. It's pretty gross.
Could also mean they're nervous about whatever their core is, their laning capabilities, because he is very good in laning.
Yeah, it might be that they're not taking a whole lot of, rapid DOT or DPS characters.
Also getting rid of Pudge, which, as seen in this tournament so far, is almost a must-have. Another must-have if you've got Mars, since he has a really good ability to disrupt the arena.
So that's 3, maybe 4 if you count Magnus, which I think I would. Really strong laning heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
MF Doom,
So
maybe picking up a little bit on it with Bristleback.
Yeah, they're nervous about whatever their lane is going to be. Being able to contest properly.
Invoker ban. Alright.
Never a bad guy to ban, exactly. MF Doom, mostly a fairly safe ban so far.
I'm not flaming when I say that, I'm saying literally the hero they're picking is going to be not so strong in lane, maybe.
Drow Ranger, okay.
Yeah, well, that makes sense with what I just said.
Notably, they got rid of a lot of people who have the ability to mess with Drow, either with Blink or from outside the silence range.
Yep.
Can tell you who's not going to have fun this game is Bristleback. Windrunner probably not either. Neither one of those very ideal to be playing against that Drow Ranger. You know, if You know, Bristleback's hard to kill for Drow Ranger, but Drow Ranger can also basically just completely nullify him in a fight, because he really doesn't have any ability to dodge the silence or anything.
Right.
And unless he builds Lotus Sword, he's not really going to have a purge for it, unless you're going the very unorthodox Manta-style Bristleback today, which you better not be.
I don't know, man. From what I recall, the illusions could proc Bristleback, and it's only based on a damage threshold, so technically speaking, his illusions could proc a shitload of quills if it works that way.
I don't think they do that.
Axe's illusions can
Yeah.
proc counter helix.
I know Axe's illusions can proc counter helix. I don't think Bristleback works in the same way.
If it does, that'd be really interesting. Well, actually, the more common self-projected for Bristleback would be like Lotus, like you
Yeah.
said, or Greaves, for example.
Yeah, Greaves, or both, really. Got a Slark pick there.
I've seen a Jug build once that tells you to build like Greaves, Lotus, and Manta, and frankly, it's not a bad build for Jug, because Jug is very susceptible to three things: getting burst down, which is, you know, everything else helps with, but Manta on top of it for damage and self-purge is good, and the illusions too. Then he's got the Lotus, so if he gets burst down, everyone just gets their own spells just slung back in their face.
So think about this arena play, right? Mars drops arena on 3, let's say. Windrunner, Jakira, and Slark. And then Snapfire starts shooting balls into the arena. Drow
Yeah,
Ranger,
just chaos.
who's pretty farmed here, shoots a multi-shot into the arena, and then everyone gets ice blasted.
You know,
How do
after
you survive
silencing
that?
all of them.
Yeah.
The best
rid
thing
of
you
spirits.
could do is, unironically, to have your fattest person, say Bristleback, literally move up in front of Drow, turn his ass to her, and just soak most of the damage.
Right.
Pray everyone's got BKB and pipe. I mean, really pray. And
Yeah.
outside of that, just you know what? They actually got one hero they could take that could really throw a wrench into their plan here.
Who's that, Chief?
Well, it's not. It's actually one hero. There's a couple options, but one of the big ones here is one of the ones I really don't like in recent times. It's Dawnbreaker.
5 seconds remaining.
Right, Dawnbreaker could throw a wrench into that fairly easily. Just at least buy you enough time. One thing I'd
I mean,
like to
by that other level of measurement, like sure you could technically take Chen too, but who the fuck? Who the hell plays Chen? You know,
Nobody
they
right
rework
now,
the dude.
really.
They rework the dude like every third patch, so it's just why bother?
Yeah, nobody bothers learning him because, you know, it's not going to last more than like a week anyway. One thing I gotta say here that we didn't really touch on when it was happening, really not a big Bloodseeker. It's a
I
big
like
AoE
it.
silence of that arena.
More arena plays.
Probably who were they were banning all these mids for, but one thing I really do not like, to be honest with you, I do not like the Slark pick right against that AA there. I do not think that's going to be great for them.
Especially
Yeah,
because they
Mars-
banned Silencer too. That could blow up in their own. Actually, I know what they could take to counter AA. He's agility. He's a bug. It's not Weaver.
An agility bug that's not Weaver. Well, it better
It's
not be
Assassin's
Neek's Assassin because he's banned.
Brood, actually. Brood's really good at killing AA.
That's true. I think they need a 4 though, or a 5, depending on what Jakira's
You don't
doing.
really
Another
need
support.
to have. You don't really need to have her in any particular position. It's really understated, but because of her skill set, Brood can do just about anything.
Right.
She
I
can
will
split
say-
push, she can support in the most unique way possible in that she can literally make a express lane between any two lanes.
Right. It is a little out of convention, I will say.
But
I
considering
don't think
her
we're
spot
going
in
to
the meta
necessarily
right
see it
now-
here.
You never know. We've seen crazier.
That's true. I mean, we might be looking at a support Windrunner here as well. So
I
there's
wouldn't
that.
actually doubt that considering the presence of both Bristle and Slark. Bristle, in this match, I think is going to be essential towards surviving the arena combo because what else are you going to do about it?
Yeah, MF
But
Doom does
there's-
not really
there's
have much
one-
counterplay here.
Yeah,
and a lot of
it-
the counterplay is banned.
Yeah, with the silencer ban, they kind of shot themselves in the foot because they had nothing to prevent Arena and all these crazy things coming out. Hell, if they really want to see a an amazing counterplay, they could try and take. Oh, I was about to say one of my other faves.
So they can just turn the arena back on them, turn Ice Blast back on them if he's quick
Exactly.
enough.
Nothing is worse than the prospect of having Ice Blast or Arena turned back on you. And Snapfire's ult is really easy to steal because it just lets her
She's just
sit
sitting
there.
Yeah.
It's sort of the reason you never want to play Enigma against Rubik, because it's easy as hell for him to steal Black Hole. So what do you think? Rubik gonna be the game changer here?
He could be.
Maybe I don't think it's necessarily enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, the big thing here
I mean,
is
when their entire setup is based around one ability that literally counters itself, that's really sketchy. Because all you gotta do to make them instantly regret their actions is Venn diagram their own arena over yours.
It's true, but if Mars just immediately chucks that spear, hits W, the second arena goes down, or God forbid, if Rubik gets silenced by Drow or Bloodseeker in the lead up, that's a lost team fight instantly, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
The biggest issue here is that they have one other sort of recourse to Arena in Slark in his ult, but the problem is they have a on that lineup, and if A is watching for it, that might not work out exactly.
Also, if Slurk is the one who gets speared, there's a good chance he just dies anyway.
Right.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, between Mars's Shard with the mini Macapire, it's what I can only at minimum describe as sufficiently lethal.
Alright, so let's do a little rundown here real quick. On Willow Twisted Fantasy, we have Luth in position 1. On Drow Ranger. Pos 2 is Iceman on Bloodseeker. I believe Snapfire here is Pos 4. Or it could be 5, as HS is playing it. Ramonolo on presumably Pos 3. And Alexajax is going to be our other support on AA.
Yep.
Now, on the other hand, we have Victor Vaughn, almost assuredly the Pos 1 is Slark. Looks like Danger Doom, who's sponsored by Adult Swim on Windrunner. Do not know the position on Windrunner yet, I'm assuming 2. Derforgan on position 5 is Rubik.
30 seconds.
Mad Villain, who I believe is a captain of this team, on Bristleback. And finally, Govna on...
yeah, Governor. Alright.
Yeah, right, we got Govna on Jakiro, Pulse 5. Bristleback, incidentally, or the Pos 3, didn't mention that. Got a bit of a chase going on up here top. I don't think anything's going to come of it. A pretty good shackle to the ground.
Pretty low there. What happened to him exactly? Did he not have his W for escape?
Yeah, he didn't. He got his passable one.
Shift. I always find it really risky to level stuff like that early. It's not usually worth the cost, I find. I mean, if you get like a 4-man gank and you're just ripping someone apart, yeah, that's pretty good, but...
Holy crap, he got a million tangos. He got 3 sets of them.
Yeah, I think that's a bit wait, did he eat one? Yeah, he did.
Looking out for this, for the pain this lane might bring him, I suppose.
Especially
Snapfire Mars isn't a lane I would particularly be afraid of, but I will say that Slark uniquely counters Mars's shield gimmick in a strange way, in that his stat steal still goes through no matter what.
So this is a 5 winner mid Rubik we're looking at. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is the case. It's Derforgan on 2. And
I like the idea of that.
Doom on 5.
You know, giving the guy who could probably turn your game around, you know, the most, not the most farm priority obviously, but you know, up there.
Right, and giving him a free lane for all that XP.
Yep. Get that spell steal up as quickly as possible. You're not gonna have the problem that you see sometimes in this league where your support's, you know, languishing at level 5. Can't do that.
Oh, whiff on the spear. Nice follow up with the shotgun.
Trouble. Yep.
Nice.
Yep, First Blood, one of the more deceptively strong laning skills is Scatter Blast here. Until that wind run gets leveled up a little bit and that pounce gets leveled up a bit, it is going to be doing quite a bit of damage.
It's very deadly.
Got Bristleback also in a little trouble down here.
Poked with a multi-shot.
I don't think, yep, they're not going to actually go through on it, but he does not have that much regen. He's actually got a lot of it built up in his quick buy down here.
He's gonna get Bloodseekers as Surf stacks too. Not anymore, but he was for a bit there.
Right. I think Bloodseeker actually got Thirst level 1, which is another kind of interesting one.
What's my man Rubik got going on for himself? He is putting points into that Fade Bolt. I like it, but I still think the only telekinesis is a bit much. You just don't have the mana to support casting both of those too frequently.
Right. Probably just got
It's really
that as
sad
an
part about
emergency thing
Rubik.
if he gets ganked.
Yeah, that's actually one of the saddest things about Rubik is that you really have to build items to cover like his base stat weaknesses. Like his right-click damage is okay now, but his other stats, his strength, agi, and even his own int, not very great.
Yep.
It's strange, but Rubik with a lot of farm is probably one of the scarier heroes out there in just what he's capable of.
Right.
Less than what he has in his base kit, like, for example, AA,
Also,
who's lethal in his own right. Doesn't
I
need
feel
a lot
like
of items.
A really early level 4 Fade Bolt can blow people up super well.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
when
one of the most highly damaging skills out there.
Oh yeah, I know, it's absolutely lethal. I like to max Fade Bolt, side point into, get one, maybe one value point of telekinesis. But I don't usually do that because telekinesis isn't really super amazing until you're being actively ganked, and if you're the ganker, then you don't need to typically worry about it. All you really need is to max arcane and put points into Fade Bolt, and if you're lucky, you can steal a spell like, say, Arc Lightning or something, and there you go.
One thing I'd also like to point out that's going to be particularly important in this lane is the damage reduction on that Fade Bolt. You know, when you're talking about Bloodseeker, who, until 6, really does not have much to do besides just beat things up with his right-click, that damage reduction means a lot.
Yeah, speaking of right-click, his
passive
passive doesn't give him damage anymore. It actually only gives him attack speed, so
Oh,
that's really
scary.
damaging. Oh, the cookie! Oh, the body block!
Oh,
Not
barely! Does not get away from that.
Mars Snap Lane is pretty deadly.
enough. As expected, the Spearman can outrange him.
Some very good, good spears from Mars
Wow,
so
that's
far.
very close.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that Ramonolo has had some Mars experience. He's playing it like somebody who's really comfortable with this hero.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna get a leap down immediately.
Yep, nothing really coming of it though.
Ooh,
Got
good
a pin
stun.
on him, but
It's harassing.
Slark's not feeling like jumping on him.
right. So
NATO
very
Snapfires went into wings.
very interesting because in the long lost cast of the Nagas versus MF Doomed matchups from the first week, Bristleback getting very chopped up here. One of the things I mentioned was that MF Doomed sometimes has a habit of picking heroes that they're not really all that comfortable with, and it backfiring on them.
AA might be
oh,
dead
Lord.
Yeah,
here.
AA
he's
almost
gone.
assuredly dead here.
Bristleback might pay for it? No. Jakiro's got a point defense. You know, I have to express my distaste for a lot of what's happened with Rubik patch-wise. He tends to get really new and interesting things, but despite the fact they're not overtly, like broken in terms of their strength, they still tend to get nerfed or changed to something even more underwhelming not too long after. I remember when Rubik had that ridiculous trait that was just, what was it, like 75% spell? No, not spell. He had like damage steal when he hit people with his Fade Bolt, and now it doesn't do that. I think now it's just Fade Bolt gets.
Yeah, no longer exists in any capacity.
Yeah, now it's just spell cooldown. I still say that's strong with like the spell amp cooldown at like 20, or the spell amp boost to 25, but I really don't think that's a fair trade.
Player.
Because
he's a
Rubik's-
Bloodseeker is here, and Slark is just dead.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just gonna
no,
get run
that's
down.
You see, this is what I was talking about with Bloodseeker. He's a hero that, if someone is not basically already teleporting out to their own base, Bloodseeker just gives their team the ability to kill them.
Right.
It's something that... It's like Spirit Breaker, and it's a weird thing that they weren't picked for that, but a lot of issue I see in many team fights in modern games is that the enemy simply walked away.
Right. Bloodseeker actually does fit the meta pretty well here. I would not be
Spirit
surprised.
Breaker too, in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker and Bloodseeker in the same team is a nasty, nasty combo that can't really be easily played around without just going as 5 after like 20 minutes.
Of course, the problem with Spirit Breaker is Spirit Breaker himself is quite handily countered by the Bloodseeker, so you got to make sure that you actually do get to have them together.
This is what you save him for a back-to-back thing. I mean, you can really
Right.
honestly, safely pick Bloodseeker and Spirit Breaker in your duo pick, Cat and Face.
Right.
Like, there's nothing you can really do to stop it. There's no great counter pick to Bloodseeker, Spirit Breaker.
Oh, stunned through the wind run.
Missed
Pretty
literally all the shots of the little Shredder, though.
that's
It's kind of unfortunate.
You see, this
Sark
is
actually
why,
the first person to fix in this lane.
this is why I actually recommend most people build a Javelin as just a base, don't need to build into anything else item for Snapfire.
Oh boy.
Ah, Bloodseeker runs in with his own salve just to keep Snapfire in the fight. That's good.
Every time poor Slark wants to do something here.
Yeah. Bloodseeker
boy.
role-playing an ambulance just comes in with EMT.
Yeah, it's very good tracking of what's going on in the top lane for Bloodseeker. Him punishing Slark as badly as he is going to really kind of write Slark off for quite a while here. So good on Iceman for it. He's really keeping him down.
I think that's the first jungle item either team's found this game, and it goes straight to Rubik, and it's a good one, too.
Good item for him. Absolutely good item for him. One thing I will say, though, I do think Bloodseeker might be,
There's a possessed mask.
Yep. Bloodseeker might be a little
Oh,
overly...
did you guys see that? Rubik
What?
stole Blood Rage.
He already had
Scary.
that. Well, I mean, he
Oh.
didn't already have that, but he already has stolen that a couple points in this game.
Well, that's really gross with Arcane, because that Fade Bolt's gonna hit like Finger of Death at like 10 minutes.
Yeah. The thing I was about to say is, I do think Bloodseeker might be a little overly watching top lane rather than his own bottom lane. You know, his own safe lane is getting a little messed up a bit. Draw Ranger is outdoing their off lane for farm, which is good, but not by a whole lot. And the Bristleback Jakiro combo is very handily keeping them out of lane right now.
Yep.
And Bristleback is a
Bro hasn't died, that's the important part.
Bristleback is a
Yeah.
character that struggles quite a bit against Bloodseeker because, you know, when you get ruptured, what do you do as Bristleback? You just kind of have to turn and just stand in place and hope everything's fine, basically.
Your blade mill.
I find, Blade Mail is usually what you want to use against Bloodseeker in most cases. Just walking him down and killing him, because thankfully, as long as Bloodseeker's behind you, that Blade Mail is going to rip him apart.
Yep.
Because it also procs your Bristle Quill, so if you really wanted to spite him, you could just take... I think he might be building it. Oh, never mind. It's just building phase.
Right.
For a second, I thought he was actually going with it.
It is unfortunate. I think for most pause 3s that don't have the ability to force you to fight them, like Axe, for example. Oh, the cookie! Big
Oh,
cookie from
no.
Snapfire! Ho-ho! That was perfectly timed.
Top lane again.
Alright
So-
then.
Putting so much pressure on this top lane.
Right.
Rubik's got a gun. And he knows how to use it. It's only level 2, but that Arcane bonus is really going to boost its damage.
I can't
Right.
believe they finally made a sequel to the
Oh,
all-time
look how much
classic episode
damage that
guy.
Fade Bolt did.
Yeah, that was quite a
That's-
bit.
That's
It
the
was only
aforementioned,
mitigated by the raindrop he had. If it weren't for that, he would have lost about half his health.
The
Right.
aforementioned early level 4 Fade Bolt.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not even max Arcane either, so that's just... Ocean Heart found on Rubik. That's an item I really think is underwhelming, but I still find it has uses for certain heroes. It's like I mentioned with
Right.
Broodmother, where if you play her as like a pause 3 to 4, where you still build her relatively like for damage, but it's more for the sake of showing up and just harassing lanes consistently. You'd get Ocean Heart if you're lucky, and ooh, okay,
Yeah,
we
big
got-
arena
up
here
right
on
he's just dead.
Jakiro, who magnifies before he dies for
Oh,
some reason.
not the play to make.
Yeah, definitely not one of those do it right before you die skills at Macrofire.
If you were gonna macro before you died, put it where the creeps are gonna walk so they can't push the tower. I don't know if he was expecting someone to come in there and help him or not, but
It could have been.
Dropping it. No, it happens.
Yeah, it could have been. One thing that we noticed about MF Doomed in the first round is that he has some comm line issues sometimes, so it could be that somebody was thinking about TPing and just maybe Jakiro died a little too fast. It's hard to say.
Rubik's angry too now.
He's in a rage, dude. What can I tell you?
I forget, does Blood Rage still boost spell damage or overall
It sure
damage?
does. You can see it here.
Yikes, that is very strong.
Fortunately
Rubik
for Bloodseeker,
has...
It's really the best thing you can steal from Bloodseeker right now.
I
So-
guess, but you really don't want to be taking Finger of Death level Fable to the face every 10 seconds.
Right.
Well, you don't want to get ruptured or mass silence.
Oh,
So what do you do?
absolutely. That's
No choice
absolutely. Yeah. It's just Bloodseeker is this really awkward choice of which of my really strong spells that Rubik can steal do I want him to steal?
Yeah, you really don't want to lose any of that stuff. And he can easily get more than one, too, with how he is. He can just Blood Rage
seems like
himself,
a-
then just rupture you or something.
Yeah,
Mars might be in a
like-
bit of trouble here. Oh, another
Yeah.
Macropire drop. Is he really going to go for this?
He's gonna sidestep it.
Oh, is that enough to kill him? It might be enough. No,
Nope.
just
Last deck,
barely.
nope.
He lives by virtue of that bracer.
Yep. If he did not
Bristol
have that
gets run
bracer,
down at
you
the
would
bot
be,
lane.
you would be dead meat.
It's not at the bot lane. Got
Yeah,
run
he
down
was here
somewhere.
mid.
Radiant's top
Okay.
tower is under
Space was created, though. So that's good.
Yeah, they need that space right now. Tell you that much.
One
I
thing
want to
that...
point out something
Go
I was
ahead.
mentioning earlier. I didn't get to finish my idea on it. So, the idea between pause 3 to 4 Brood is that she can still do decent damage because of her ult. She can make a lane just a straight highway between any two lanes from roughly, like, middle tier 1 to any other lane she wants, in any fashion she wants. And it's sort of like Spear Breaker, and, oh, sure, you can see her coming, but you still have to deal with the fact she's there.
History
Just put
repeating
it on the
itself
Jakiro.
on Jakiro. Every time you talk about Broodmother, Jakiro's going to get arenaed.
I will do nothing but talk about Broodmother for the next 2 hours.
is under attack.
Ho-Ho-Horo would be pissed. Anyway, so I will say this much. So far, there are a couple of interesting things here. On one hand, the Radiant has a pretty distinct kill lead here, 9-2. But on the other hand, Rubik actually has the most farm of anybody in the server right now, 98 last hits. Dro's not that far behind at this point, but it took quite a while to get here. And Slark is actually not that far down, despite how poor his lane phase has gone otherwise. He's been mostly retired to the jungle at this point.
Yeah, Rubik can get a lot of farm really quickly with Fabled, especially if he's maxed Arcane, and since he has Blood Rage, that thing hurts! Oh, Bloodseeker might be a little, Nope. No. Ooh, Rubik might actually, have some friends here to kick some ass.
Two guys just kind of point guarding this in case a funny dive happens.
Right.
Come on, Rubik, zap him. Zap him. Do it. Yeah. Oh, he's in trouble now. Oh, he wanted to ult! Oh, do it, do it.
He was looking for the rupture on Rubik, but
I saw him start the animation, but he thought twice about it.
Yeah. He didn't want to get counter blood sought. Yeah, he didn't want to get counter ruptured there. Oh,
Bottom tower is under attack.
looks like we had another no
I didn't even
arena on
mention-
at that time.
I didn't even mention Broodmother this time.
Yeah,
Jarl
Jakiro
just
just
swing up to take that kill.
Jakiro just at this point really probably needs to just go somewhere else. Without that ice path especially, I think this is just gonna keep happening.
Yeah, I've mentioned this before, but I typically find that skipping abilities, even without a value point, is not something you don't want to do in certain heroes, and I find that Jakiro's true strength is having all of his abilities lined up.
Right, even if it's just one level in ice path, that does make quite a heavy difference. A lot of people just don't want to step in it. It's one of those abilities that has a pretty profound psychological effect I think people underestimate sometimes. When you get ice path,
Especially-
you just don't want
yeah.
to fight anymore.
Yeah, especially since Jakiro's abilities all have a long, like, full second or
Gotta
more
read it
wind
again.
up to being cast.
And yep, you got arena'd again. As Randy stated, it once again, and Jakiro at this point, what's he at? 0-4, yeah, ouch. 0-4, and I think 3 of those 4 deaths within the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Really just needs to go somewhere else. Now they've taken out the option from him by
Speaking
knocking
of
out the tower.
Speaking of Jakiro, by the way, I wanted to mention something. Another hero that's a great counter Jakiro without needing to directly be one, like picked for, is Clockwork. Most of his abilities have a huge, like, cast point, like long, more than a second. Guess who has an ability that can perma-stun you, basically, trying to cast those? Clockwork.
Oh,
Battery Assault.
wait. Hold on, let me guess.
Ricky.
Is it Clockwork?
No, you failed. You do not pass the class. You don't get to graduate. Oh,
Uh-oh,
okay.
counter rupture.
Oh, okay.
Counter rupture,
No,
and he's in
no,
such
no,
a bad
Rubik's
spot,
Blood
no?
Rage.
Rubik's
Blood Rage.
brave. Rubik's brave. He's
Ooh.
just gonna sit on it. And he's probably
Yeah.
gonna hit Bristle with it.
Yeah, no, he
got
actually
Blood
did
Rage.
not get rupture. Blood Rage at the exact perfect time. Had to be frame perfect, legitimately.
Yep.
Rubik got himself a blank, though. And
That
actually,
is
nobody
a-
died.
No, not a blink. Did he get a blink? I don't
Yeah,
see
he
it.
did. It's coming in on his courier.
He's already got Aether Lens too. This Rubik is doing good for himself.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Actually, nobody died in that fight for Dire, which is pretty good. Pretty good for them. They dropped a lot to try and go in on them there, though notably not most of the assaults.
Oh boy.
Bristleback just in a little trouble here.
Yeah.
Big AO.
Dude! Oh!
Dire's middle tower
Bristleback and Jakiro in the arena. Jakiro in the arena again. Every arena is for Jakiro.
Oh no. I thought he had Arena for a sec, but no, he got Shield Bash.
Yep.
Which
That
is
was
still
super
pretty good on
close.
Rubik. Because if I'm not mistaken, that Shield Bash actually has a, does it get boosted by Spell Amp, actually? Check that out real quick. I know that some abilities that are physical work with it.
Yeah. Not sure. I'm
Hold
say
Alt.
it's not, 'cause it's
You can
over
hold Alt
like
over to
this.
see it. You can see if it boosts it. No. You can hold Alt to check cooldowns and Spell Amp amounts if it's affected by it. Which is pretty neat. I feel like I should just show that anyway, to be honest, but eh.
Yeah. Radiant sieging this T1 here for so long. That is one notable thing about the Dire. They are showing they have a lot of defensive capability.
Oh no, yeah, just between Jakiro and even Bristleback, even now, he hasn't exactly been what you could call winning by and large, but he's still significantly tanky.
Yeah, he can knock the wave back pretty much no matter what he's doing.
He can just turn around, get hit in the back, and they're forced to just leave him alone.
Right.
I might take this
It
though.
does take 1 or 2 stuns to stop him.
One notable thing as well is even though there's a pretty
Robo.
massive kill lead for Radiant here, their gold lead actually isn't like insurmountable by any means. Dire's been
yeah, so I was about to mention.
Dire's doing pretty good
Slark
so
and
far.
Rubik
as,
are about equal for farm, and that's kind of a scary thought, to be honest.
check out that net worth. It is, yeah, if you look at the net worth chart here, it's not really too bad. In fact, Dire, a lot of Dire heroes are actually doing better than their Radiant counterparts, or at least on the level.
That's the support there, yeah.
Once again, Siege going down here. It's just forever. The eternal siege on these towers
Okay,
here.
I just ran up, stunned Snapfire, and ran away.
Oh yeah, she was about to get arena to shoot
Refuses
and
to
run away,
elaborate.
so.
Rubik's still occupying mid here, forcing the Radiant to split up, which is not what they want to do exactly.
We didn't really take a peek at his inventory in a while. What is AA sitting on for items?
Probably not terribly much yet. Just
No, he's actually pretty close to 4-step.
Yep.
Oh,
Alright, stun on Mars, there's the Macropire. What's gonna happen here? Is he gonna die? Oh, he's still
gonna
getting
arena
out.
before he goes down.
oh my
He is
god.
not going down without a fight. Oh, I think Rubik just stole Snapfire's ult.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
Oh!
did. Here
Oh,
it
here he
comes.
goes. Oh my god, that damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very unfortunate scenario for the Radiant here because they had to split up so bad. Rubik was able to
Still
get out
hungry.
there, steal and
Still
just start running over him. What?
I
He
got
caught
the
it
ult
again!
That's
She didn't cast anything. Oh, the illusions. But Shakira's here for backup. Snapfire's in trouble. She's gonna die. Oh wait, here comes
Hail.
AA ult. Oh,
Oh,
this is curtains. He might not
Oh,
survive
dude.
this. No, don't stand in the creeps. They might kill you. He might still die. He's got like 3 seconds. Oh my god. Oh.
It's definitely
Oh, that is close. That is
Just.
really scary.
Just barely doesn't go down
He's
there.
just sitting there. I think he's depressed.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
he said. Oh.
This is the worst day in Alexa Jax's life.
Sure, I was like, come on, buddy, it's okay.
Did he fall asleep?
Yeah.
No, I think he's legitimately depressed. Like, look at that face.
Yeah.
This is the face of a man who has had everything he worked up for completely fall on the floor and
He's
shattered to
back.
pieces.
He's back in the game.
We could snap over to Mars and just see Slark get skewered.
Yeah. There's a
Who
little
leaves-
fight going on there.
Why do people leave items on the ground? Like, I get it if... Oh. Okay.
Well, you're bound. Here comes the ale.
Yep.
Slark in big lot of trouble here.
Is he gonna get him with the spear?
Purged out the silence, luckily.
No, he has no... Oh, the Fusel Blade, that's right. He has nothing to actually hit him with.
Hey, going in, but just does not want to fight the Bristleback right now. Dire are doing a good job trying to turn this around a little. They're making it so that anytime somebody on Radiant gets a kill, they really have to put their lives on the line here. They're really starting to support each other at this point.
Right.
No longer just kind of letting each other hang out to dry. Bristleback getting a little messed up here.
Nah, he's
Oh,
honestly
yeah,
fine. Oh,
Here
there's
comes
Snapfire
Rubik's
ult.
Snapfire ult.
Yeah.
One hit from that shore off just a quarter of Snapfire's health. That is
Irony.
deadly.
Oh, hey.
Oh, the Bloodseeker Rupture on Windranger, she's gone.
Yep, just killed her
Rubik, oh,
instantly.
what'd he steal?
He got shield bash again. Still not what he's looking for, probably.
Yeah, I would say Spear.
Still
Arena is what you
potent,
want.
but he needs to. I think he needs to help Jakiro out here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Now they're not actually brave enough to go under.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, they are. They'll just
They don't
multi-shot
need
that.
to go under tower. They'll just kill him. Just kill him from the outside.
First, you have to earn it.
Slark pings a camp for no reason.
Just
Radiant's
neutral
middle
is the
tower
reason we
under
died.
attack. Dire's
It's all his
tower
fault.
is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Mars squaring up with the tower.
Well, they don't have a great ability to push the towers. At least Radiant has a pretty good ability to clear out the creep waves.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. I do find Mars's ability to eat 70% of the shots going to people around you a pretty unique gimmick, and rather strangely, it's one of the best utilities. And I think it's the only ability in the game really that directly counters tier 2 and beyond fortifies, because it just
Right.
eats the extra shots. I mean, it hits pretty hard because you're eating like what 8 or more tower shots worth of damage, I think, per shot. But if you've got good, physical resist, then hey, it's not a big deal.
Right, and it also means you're just taking it off of people who need to not get hit a little more. Rubik
Helps
taking
you really push waves too.
Rubik taking advantage of their inability to Radiant's inability to really push at this juncture by just ratting out, but he has kind of let Windrunner. Well, he hasn't really let Windrunner die per se. Windrunner just kind of died while he was doing
I
it.
feel like Windranger was the person that needed to drop both Rupture and Arena on.
Yeah, probably not. That is pause 5 Windrunner.
Actually, you know who I feel they really could have used on their team over on Dire's side that would have been better than Jakiro, I think, this game?
Who's that, Chief?
I don't know if they banned it, I don't remember off the top of my head, but Laverne.
I don't believe
Rupture.
Wyrm was banned, but they did pick Jakiro first round, so.
That's true. Well, Laverne's not a bad first pick either. That
Oh, no
was...
way.
Yeah. AA got a little screwed there.
Still got to ult Slark, so if they were looking to start off something with this fight... Oh, no.
He got spear.
Oh,
Rubik did get the spear
that's-
this time.
That's a little scary on Rubik. That stun's gonna last how long now? Like, 5 seconds?
Doesn't say if I hold alt on it, so I don't know.
How much is the boost on Max Arcane? Oh, it's just
Yeah, it
spell
does
amp
not-
for damage now. It doesn't
yeah.
actually boost the effect duration anymore. Huh.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
think that just comes with spell seal now, the duration.
Ah, yeah. So 20% longer on 2.8 seconds. That's a little over 4, I think. A little under it, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to do the mental math on something like a.
Torment smoke here.
Because it's also accounting
Right
for...
in the
Oh,
drow.
Oh, this is the end of
Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker, I think.
Oh,
These
he's
are not the
durable.
people you wanted to tank the smoke
He's
gank.
durable though. Look how tanky he is. This man is unkillable. What is this?
Maybe they are the people that want to
man.
tank the smoke gank.
Bloodseeker did not take kindly to being stunned for 12 consecutive seconds. Holy.
Yeah, just immediately turned around and ate them for it.
I was about
Rubik
to say
is hiding nearby.
I was about to say that's a really bad 2 targets to tank the smoke gank, but then they just owned them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's a
one of the
bit
big
of a morale
things
crusher.
is that looked like it was going to be really bad, but Windrunner has almost no items basically,
What is-
so
Yeah, what does Bloodseeker have that makes him so tanky though?
I think it's less Bloodseeker has something that makes him tanky and more Dire.
Windranger has.
Yeah.
Windranger didn't get her requisite 1 item that helps her win the game, and that's a javelin.
Right.
1,000 gold spells, endless utility for your ult. It's a little
She
unfair
is
how strong
picking
it is
it up,
for her.
but
Yeah, I think she honestly needed to get that before
Oh, Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker is
going
going
for
to die.
tranks.
He's gonna get caught out there.
Ooh.
Oh, Shackle.
Rubik with a
Oh,
spear
the
does not
distance on
accomplish
that spear.
anything.
Oh, I
Sapphire
don't know
is
about that.
Pretty much dead.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
turning him this. Okay. Not too bad for the
They have a
there.
lot of back escape ability just to throw crap behind them and run.
Right. On the other hand, when Bloodseeker goes down, they don't seem to really have much ability to fight at that point. I mean, they do have Drow, but she's not at that impossible to kill, like, state yet, basically.
Yeah, if Shade's caught in a bad position, she'll still die.
She's gonna need Ags and Shard before she gets to that point. She's just gonna need raw stats too. Oh, wait.
Waited.
Oh, that
Oh,
4-step into
yep.
the pounce was not the play. Is she gonna escape this? I don't think so. I don't think they have a...
She does have Aegis.
Oh. But is she gonna get away with it?
They got the arena out.
Mars!
Arena's
Everybody.
directly in the perfect spot there, because Drow
Yeah.
is right outside of it when he gets it.
Oh, the rupture. Rubik is gonna try to escape. Not
No
enough.
dice.
Oh,
Man,
the
that
combo
Mars,
the rupture with the
yeah.
spear.
That Mars
Oh.
and Bloodseeker combo is really nasty. You can just get ruptured, then just sent a mile. The only survivor is Windrunner.
Bonus points if Mars ends up getting... Oh man, if Mars gets a Aether Lens casually, oh, that combo could really do some damage.
Right. That was really not the fight Dire wanted to take at this point. I don't think that really stretched out the Radiant Gold advantage here.
Yep.
Gave him almost 2K and took 1,000 gold off the Dire. Seems like they really got some good high value targets there, and most notably, in the fight beforehand, we're not able to put down Drow, who has still yet to die at this point. In fact.
Titan
Should have
Sliver on
been,
Mars,
yeah.
that's a bit gross.
That is a bit gross. For the first time, Radiant really able to take advantage of this downtime, knocking out 2 different T2s. They've gone from having a pretty notable objective disadvantage to just a pretty notable objective outright
That's really
advantage.
disadvantage, I wouldn't say. They just not as much of an advantage as they should have had. I would put it more simply.
Well, there was a while there where Dire had Radiant had taken no towers at all, and losing a few of theirs.
Oh
it just-
god, now Slark's got the
Sure.
Sliver.
Still,
Ceremonial Robe. That's a good item for Bristleback, actually.
This bot lane is still a bit of a problem.
Pushing out that bot pretty consistently, it feels like. You know, you just look down here and the creature is right by the tower.
That's a quickening charm. Yeah.
That's, that could be really gross on a few people here. Particularly
I think
Bloodseeker.
yeah, I guess it can be really nasty on Bloodseeker. I think it's got even more potential on someone like Snapfire, maybe even Drow.
Oh,
actually.
they
Just will not let Bristleback live drop the entire arena on him. Jakiro Macropyres once again does not get much for it.
And they just swing straight to
Dead in the
T3s.
blink of an eye.
And Drow's got double damage
Ooh,
here.
nice
and
stun.
it's just
But Windranger can't do anything on her own.
Completely blown over this tower.
Ruptured again.
Mars
They
wants to
just
get him
burn
for it,
away.
Oh, he saw it coming.
Good lift.
but does not quite matter. He's back.
Mars
Rubik is
caught in a
coming
really
back.
Bad position.
Slark Pop BKB, his ult's out. What are they gonna do? They have to run. They got the. Oh no!
Yep, Drow just getting eaten by the combination of Windrunner and Slark, but Slark actually dies, and that's his dieback. He's going to be down for 73 seconds here.
Windranger got a kill streak there, but I don't know if that's really worth it on her.
No, update, that was not actually Slark's dieback. That Rubik is the only one who bought back in that fight, my mistake.
Yep.
Rubik going quite big here, wanting to go right for a Scythe of Ice. Which I do not know. I do not know if he's going to be able to farm that up by the time he really needs it here.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen behind in his ability to farm, but it's more to the effect that, well, Slark needs more than him. Like, far more, and Slark can easily jump around and take all of it. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I said that I don't really appreciate them removing Rubik's ability to at least steal some amount of damage from people he hits with Fade Bolt. Rubik's big perennial weakness is that if you stole a spell or ability that used right-click, either you built for it, or that was it. You just can't use that spell very well.
Right.
It's useless, yeah. Like,
Also,
for instance, the Snapfire Shredder in this game.
Right.
Yeah, I miss being able to Fade Bolt Meepos and his entire team with just steal all that damage, and then steal Walrus Punch from a Tusk and blow someone up.
That right there was a Luth original on the mini-map. One day that's going to be worth millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah. Much like Luth will be in this game.
Yep. One thing that is notable, Luth actually did go down that last sequence.
Yeah, he did.
For the very first time in this entire game, which is always big.
I think that last fight, the Rubik baited out the Mars pretty well, because he blinks into a place that's really bad for the Mars to be into. Or he didn't blink, he just walked, I suppose.
Yeah, he still went down, but
Walked
Mars...
just far enough that Rupture doesn't kill him, and he's in an undesirable position for Radiant. So Mars extends into that position, and then Radiant just kind of loses that fight.
Right.
Quickening Charm's another gross item to have. If Slark gets that, that's not good for the for the Radiant team. But I really don't know how this game's gonna go long term, because while like Radiant has incredibly good synergy with their team fight, but strictly speaking, I'm pretty sure Slark and Windranger scale a bit harder in terms of the carry department.
Yeah, late game, Dire definitely going to have a massive advantage. The only problem is, are Dire going to be able to get there? And even if they are, and this is a concern you see sometimes with, oh, good spear by Rubik there. Just completely
almost got him
out of there. One concern you do see with late game teams sometimes is if they actually have the space to make that big arena. Jakiro and Bristleback it again. AA stun while he was trying to ult. Just dies for it, it's trouble. Lots of buybacks coming in on Dire here. They're desperately trying to make this happen. Slark's still going here. He's lapsed his entire ult, and he's dropping BKB for this. But he only got Mars for his trouble, and he's about to die.
No.
Yep.
Good silence.
The Trow might be dead as well.
Skewered. Oh, the cookie.
It was a good cookie, but it's hard to say. Is that going to do much? Yes, it is! Drow with a really good Hurricane Pike dodge there.
Oh, it's not enough.
Oh, barely, barely didn't get out. Maybe TPing was not the play there, especially without hitting stick. A very wild sequence there.
Yep. It ends with another,
definitely good for the Dire
there. Bit of a
there.
costly victory for the Dire, but...
Yeah, they took 3,000 gold for that. So while they did have some casualties and the money didn't exactly go to the guy who needed it most, but yeah. Yeah, the buybacks were an issue though. Rubik, Bristleback, and I believe Windrunner.
Can't see
Hard to tell,
kills.
Yeah, too many people died in that fight. I believe it was Windrunner all bought back. We can't look at the buyback status at least.
No.
Slark definitely ate it pretty hard in that fight, I will say.
Yeah, 4 people.
Yeah, four without buyback on Dire. So if they lose another big fight within the next, let's say, 6 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes here. Kinda out of it. Lots of pings going on.
Radiant are scanning.
I think Radiant realized just what a precarious position the Dire are in right now.
Yeah.
You know, considering the amount of passive just set it forget it damage that Radiant has. I'm really, really surprised that Blade Mail is not an option on Bristleback right now. I don't really feel he can afford to ignore it much longer after he gets Halberd.
Right.
As much of an early game item as it can seem, it's better than Quelling Blade.
One of the things that I was saying earlier, I've been distracted a bit from it, is on pause 3, especially on somebody like Bristleback, who can't call damage to him directly. Blade Mail is like getting BKB on PL. Like, you don't want to do it if you don't have to. Like, absolutely have to. Drop the slot for it. Well, game coming in here. Looks like they just want to do Roche, though.
Smoking to Roche, alright.
Dire just immediately made the assumption of what was coming.
Oh yeah.
See the Roche here. But boy, he's dying so quick. They got him before Dire were able to come in.
Yep.
And Mars the only man left of pit.
But
Bristleback is dead from the arena.
They're using the gust to keep him from running, but it's not enough.
Yep. Alright. Casual little 1-for-1.
And Bloodseeker gets a flicker, which is in every single game.
It sure is.
But as I was saying, you don't want to get Blade Mail unless you absolutely have to. Like, if you got damage that you absolutely must get rid of, then yeah, you still want to be really careful about it. A casual Blade Mail pop at the wrong time can just lose you a fight.
Oh.
Bloodseeker, not Bloodseeker, Slark really coming in brave here.
Ulted. Okay. Slark has eggs.
Yep. Came in just to ult the Windrunner. But really did not get anything done for his trouble. So he's just putting his ult on cooldown. Still not too long, at least.
So Dire got the egg shard from that, I think. I think Bristleback had it in his inventory and dropped it in base. So they got the shard from Roche.
Yeah, they sure did.
At least they got something out of that, I suppose.
Right. Could be surprisingly big. Yeah, because only Windrunner and Slark have a shard right now, so.
Yeah.
And you know, the Jakiro shard's pretty good, the Bristleback shard's pretty good, the Rubik shard's pretty good. They got a lot of good shards in that lineup, so.
Yep.
Looking around in the jungle to try and find somebody here, but nobody's home. Everybody's just hanging out mid right now, if anywhere, or in their triangle. Really, Dire does not want to fight at this moment, which is not much of a surprise, really.
Yeah.
Slark alone here. But he jumps out of the arena.
Yep.
Mars cannot be happy about that.
Vertical movement can leave arena like Ursa or Slark.
And while it makes logical sense, I do kind of wish he couldn't.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And he has that shard, as mentioned before. Gives him a lot more maneuverability in fights.
Yep. Here comes the AA ult just wipes Slark out. No buyback. He's not going to be doing anything in this fight. Bristleback also just
I feel like the rupture is wasted on Bristle there because he can just keep walking.
Yep. Still, he does have to.
Again, would have been a really funny method of killing Bloodseeker if he had a Blade Mail.
Everybody tips him.
Ooh.
Everybody tips Slark for dying instantly.
Oh. Gale Force wins. Gonna just push everybody into a little bit of an undesirable situation. Doesn't matter though.
Yeah, but at this point, Radiant is just really starting to run away with this. Bristleback doing about 1 trillion cool sprays here.
Rubik's making the right plays, but I don't feel like they have the strength to back it up.
Right. This is an issue I was kind of alluding to earlier. Even though it has gone rather late, the problem is that Dire never had any amount of space to farm much up. So even though they have theoretically a great amount of late game, it is late game. They're just never allowed to get there. They're still trailing pretty heavily for net worth at this point.
You have to kind of discount the support Windrunner.
Oh no, Wind!
Late game.
What a weird shard ability, honestly.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just gonna finish
And
it.
yep, they're just gonna knock this one out. Mars just putting the arena up so they can't do anything about it.
Alright.
My beautiful Dark Willow Twisted Fantasy. pulling out the first game here. And what a game it was, really.
Yeah, for sure.
To be honest with you, I think MF Doomed got pretty badly outdrafted here. I think that was really the big core of this issue. The Slark pick against AA really did them no favors. It really just gave them a direct weakness. You know, if AA was still alive in the fights, if old Ricker Img was still alive in these fights, and it basically just meant that Slark wasn't really able to do anything, and Drow against that Bristleback and that Slark really just meant that, you know, everybody on Dire really had at least 2 or 3 people to worry about on Radiant, but the reverse wasn't really true. I really gotta say one notable thing about this. Snapfire really did not ult much in that game. I think I only saw her do it one time at bot.
It was out of more respect and maybe fear of Rubik's retaliation with Steel, because he did have a Timeless Relic at the end of that, and that is a nasty double up combo between his Spell Lamp, the increased debuff duration, and then again with that at the late game, it's just something you don't want to have stolen, because it's because his team has to fight in the arena on Mars' side, right?
Right.
If that gets stolen, that's just you are forced to run away or take like 1,000 damage a second. It's gross.
Right. But the thing I was saying with Snapfire not ulting is that Snapfire really had no need to ult there as well. Like, Snapfire was just they were able to win team fights without it. It was just an insurance card, you know, an insurance policy. They just never needed to cash in. We didn't even try and win on AA, by the way, which is pretty gross. And yeah, really not much more to say there. That was just a game that I feel like was more or less decided in draft. I do think there were some mistakes on MF Doom that did contribute to this. Like Jakiro just kind of casually dying like 4 times in a row at top for no reason. But yeah, very simple game. I think this is pretty much just an open shut case, and I think it's just another it is another example of Willow Twisted Fantasy's biggest upside as a team, and their their nice little compositions. You know, they got pretty good drafts, but they got really good teamwork. They were keeping each other alive really well. Iceman's constant pressure on the top lane really did a lot of good work for him. And Drow, you know, the captain of the team, was able to hold her own on bot. So, yeah, anything to say about this one?
Not anything further than that.
Anything to say about Broodmother?
We will not see her once in this tournament, unless it's Roche Riders.
Probably. Ocelot, any closing thoughts?
I really feel like it was just a mishandling of the hero roles that were sort of what's we're looking for here. I feel like it boiled down to a miscommunication of what was to be expected between each hero on their team. I feel like Jakiro couldn't really get up enough damage, considering that he stuck the top too long. I feel like Wind Ranger really shouldn't have been in the support role that early in. Should have definitely gone for Javelin much earlier.
Right.
I feel like Slark may have overcommitted on just staying away from pick-off attempts. And Rubik was doing pretty good overall, I think, but without a team to back him up, Rubik can't do a lot on his own.
Right, yeah.
Bristleback otherwise did, I'd say, fine-ish, but
He did what he was supposed to do, but the problem is his role did not really come in handy when, you know, he can tank a lot, and that's great, but nobody could really capitalize on that fact here. Just kind of a route of MF Doomed, unfortunately. See if they're able to turn it around next game.